Is this thing on?
Is it on?
I don't. Is it
Are
working?
you sure? Wait, I think it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
on.
it's okay. All right. Hurry up, sit down. Okay.
It's the Jeff and Kathy chit chat show, chit chat show, chit chat show, chit chat show, chit chat show.
Chit chat.
Oops. Hi, my name is Jeff Jefferson.
And I'm Kathy Catherson, and that's Kathy with a K, despite what our idiot graphic designer wrote.
Wait, I'm the graphic designer.
Yeah.
Well, that's besides the point. Today I want to talk about what we've been doing during our quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
So, Kathy, what have you been doing?
Well, I work from home, so I've been doing that. And in the evenings, I've been working on a project that requires a lot of my energy, my time, my patience. It's pretty exhausting.
Yeah, you're involved with those comedy Wham shows, right?
Oh, no, I've been spending evenings with you.
Can I talk about what I've been doing?
Fine, go ahead.
I've been playing video games, I've been doing my online schoolwork, and I've been doing cooking, which I'm pretty proud of.
You call what you've been doing cooking, huh?
Is there something?
Oh, look, a penny on the ground.
You don't like my saganaki?
Wait, what's saganaki again?
It's the flaming Greek cheese.
Oh, you mean the thing that nearly burned down our house?
I took a lot of precautions. I took a fire safety class. I wore a fire suit. I had the fire departments waiting outside our door, and I alerted the National Guard of a potential threat to the nation.
Yeah, but did you contact our insurance agent to tell him about the increased risk?
No, but did you at least enjoy the spinach souffle, beef Wellington, and baked Alaska?
I mean, I guess they tasted okay, but it's not like those are hard to make.
I'm beginning to think Miss Carrington is the only sane person in our house. I'm forgetting. There was something else I've been doing. I can't remember what it is.
I know one thing that you've been doing a lot of.
What?
Spending too much time near me. But what you don't do enough of is the household chores.
What? I dust, I vacuum, I do the laundry, I even fix things around the house.
Yeah, but you don't iron the linens like I always ask you to.
People only did that in the 1800s.
I think I'm old.
No, I'm just saying only people born in the 1800s want their linens ironed.
And another thing you're not doing is getting us more groceries. We're almost out of food.
I can't drive, and there's no one available for delivery.
Oh, I have an idea. I'll be right back.
Help me. He's insane. He's insane. He's making me sleep on the patio. Please, help. Help.
Look, our cat's fat enough. Why don't you eat her? Maybe you can use one of your fancy recipes and make beef Purrington. Isn't that a great idea?
I remember what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I'm exercising. I've also been swimming laps in my bathtub because swim practice is shut down, but it's pretty difficult.
Oh, but yeah, of course it's difficult.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
what?
Look.
What?
You're fat.
I guess that's the end of the Jeff and Kathy chit chat show.
It's the Jeff and Kathy chit chat show, chit chat show, chit chat show, chit chat show, chit chat show.
And now, welcome your host, Gabby. Oh, well, Gabby Montemayor.
Oh, Jeff and Kathy, thanks, guys. Wow. Make sure you follow them. Help Jeff with recipes or whatever else he asked for, help-wise. That'd be really nice. What's up, guys? I'm Gabby Montemayor. I'll be your host tonight. We've got a hell of a good show for y'all. We've got comics from all over, from California to Mississippi, and places in between there too. So it's gonna be a great show. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna get real hype in your house. Grab a drink. I'm on my second margarita, and there will be more to come. It's gonna be real nice. I've been trying to meditate a little bit lately. I've been stressed. There's some stuff happening in the world that's stressing me out, so I've been trying to meditate lately. And I was listening to this kind of like weird like meditation app on Spotify. Like, I know that there's the fancy ones like 10% Happier or the Calm app, but those cost money, and I was doing the free one. And I don't know if they're just sourcing some weird talent pools for these meditation people, but the girl that was doing this guided sleep meditation, it just was sounding really dirty to me. When I was listening to her, she would just talk about like all kinds of things like, I want to see you relax and just feel the calming ripples. And I'm like, what the fuck are calming ripples? And she would just kept telling you over and over, like, I want you to be so relaxed that your jaw goes slack. What? What are we doing? Honestly, there was even a point, like I wrote this down and this note is 3:33 in the morning, but there was even a point where like she was talking about these ripples of relaxation going down, down, down. And she literally said, that's right. like who said that? Like meditation, that's right. It was a little alarming, but I did end up falling asleep because I masturbated first, which it accomplished its goal, which was fun. Anyways, we've got a really good show for y'all tonight. I want to thank Comedy Wham putting this on. Comedy Wham is isolation comedy put on by Comedy Wham. And if you don't know, comedywham.com is the place to go for all kinds of features about awesome comedy, like podcasts and articles and reviews. And all kinds of stuff like that. So they produce these shows. This is going to be actually our last Tuesday show, but we do have a show this Friday and pretty much every Friday in quarantine for the foreseeable future. That's the dismal, dark timeline we live in, but isolation comedy is here to make it a little brighter. All right, that's it for me. Let's bring out your first comic. This guy is awesome. He used to come to my mic all the time. He is hosting the 12th annual Custom Bicycle Show in September, but the caveat there is only if the world still exists. So if it doesn't exist, he won't be hosting it. If he does, check this guy out. Give it up for Jimmy Smoltich, everyone. Woo!
Oh man, quarantine. It's been so long. It's more like quarantine adult. Am I right?
Jesus.
Oh, that's so dumb. Hey, we're getting started on a low note, so it can only go up from there, right? Everybody's having problems with this new Little Mermaid movie because the mermaid was black. I think that's insane. They should be way more worried about the fact that the mermaid's name is Ariel. That's not a name for a mermaid. Sebastian. Now that's a name I can get behind for a sea creature. So I'm a man. I like cartoons and comic books too, man. I'm a big fan of comic books. I like some comic book characters are weird though. There's the Green Arrow. That's a comic book character. Most people don't know about him because he only protects people when they take left turns. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they're my favorite superheroes because they're the only superheroes who have to wear masks so you can tell who they are. Because those disguises aren't fooling anybody. Raphael's always mad because he has to fight with a gardening tool, the sai. That's a weird weapon. How are you supposed to fight off the forces of evil when your weapon's named after the sound of disappointment? Sai. Woo! Hey, I think Viagra missed out by not naming themselves Res, because then you could have a resurrection. These are my Easter jokes. I can only use them every other third day. Okie dokie. But you know what? I think that Miracle Whip sounds less like a name for a sandwich spread and more like a video game weapon. That's probably why I could never defeat Dracula as a kid. I didn't find the secret weapon, cholesterol. You gotta stab them in the heart with trans fats. Those are fats from Transylvania. That joke's a thinker. Sometimes comedians will say that joke's a thinker when jokes don't go very good. I think all jokes can be thinkers if you're smoking the weed. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Something weird about me is I'm completely deaf in my left ear, like 100%, because that was what completely means. And when I was young, my friends were like, "You don't look deaf," and that was weird. And they'd be like, "Let me scream in your ear to see if you're actually deaf," and that's pretty rude. You know, like, why would I lie about that? Nobody's like, "Man, did you hear about Jimmy? He's so cool. He's deaf in one ear." I wish I was deaf in one ear so headphones didn't work properly for me either. You know? I've been wrong with my wife, though, sometimes. I've been married for a long time. At first, my wife didn't seem to mind when I have to ask her what, you know? Because when somebody's on this side, I can't really hear what they're saying. And at first, she was like real cool and responded. And then she got kind of an attitude after the years went on. I'd be like, "What'd you say?" And she'd be like, "What I said was." And now she just gets really angry. And I'm like, "What'd you say?" And she's like, "Say what again, motherfucker?" And she's been wearing a suit and carrying around a briefcase a lot more lately. I don't know what's going on with her. But when I was younger, my friends wouldn't believe me that I was deaf in one ear. So they'd always want to scream in my ear. And I'd be like, "Yeah, go ahead, scream in my ear if you want to." And then they'd do it and they'd be like, "Could you hear that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, because sound goes around things. And the other ear still works." So another thing about me is I'm pretty much blind. Partially, at least. I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I never do when I do comedy because I just like to assume the audience is having a good time. That makes a lot more sense when there's an audience. But I'm not going to rewrite that joke. Anyway, so I'm half deaf and half blind. I feel like I'm half as cool as Helen Keller, except for she graduated college. The joke's kind of a thinker. Oh boy. So my name's Jimmy Smoltich. Jimmy Peter Smoltich, actually. My first two names are synonyms for penises because my parents were Catholics and they love penises. They put them on everything. They put them on the statues, the paintings on the ceiling. So you look at penises while you pray. They put them on the children. They put penises on a lot of things in that place. My name is Jimmy Peter Smoltich. When I was younger, I was just happy my last name wasn't Cox or Johnson until I found out Smoltich means penis in another language. So my name is basically a sausage fest. Women wouldn't have that problem because they don't nickname their genitals, especially not after things that are real people's names. You never hear a group of ladies being like, "Man, that guy I went home with last night gave my Tina Turner a real pounding." He couldn't find Amelia Earhart. Kept trying to put his finger in my Kellyanne Conway. That lady's an asshole, you guys. Sometimes that. So I work with children. I'm a preschool teacher. I really like my job. It's great. The kids say hilarious things. I had a birthday recently and they found out I was 37. And when they asked me how old I was like, "I'm 37. And one of the kids was just like, "Yikes." You know you're starting to get old when your age scares small children. I couldn't even count that high. And I was like, "Don't worry, little buddy. Neither can our president." Yeah, they say funny things, though, at the school all the time. This one kid was trying to reach for something, And I was like, what do you want? What are you trying to get? And he was like, I want to get high. And I was like, whoa, me too. But I didn't say that because I'm a good teacher. Instead, I said, wait until high school. Some people might say that's weird, but I smoked weed in high school and I passed with flying colors. And by that, I mean I took a lot of mushrooms too. Jokes, am I right? Is that what I'm doing here? Shit. Oh boy. You know, I wonder if Parkinson's sufferers have a hard time going to bars. Like they just go out there and the bartender immediately cuts them off, you know? Because I'm just trying to shake things up. I don't know if this is a good... Hey, one of my favorite games to play is Trivial Pursuit, or as I like to call it, stand-up comedy. Oh boy, I'm doing jokes on Zoom. Or wherever this is Twitch. You guys might be watching from it. I'm watching myself. Bomb. You know what? Facebook tried to tell me, it was like, hey, we care about your memories. Here's a memory from last year. And then it didn't load the memory, so it was just a blank space. And I was like, whoa, Facebook, that's just how I remembered it. Oh boy. So, jokes. Am I telling those things here? Oh, coming up on time. Thank goodness for that. I was wondering about that. Hey, I think I'm going to start an online Zoom exercise class that I'm going to call Zumba. Is that name? Is that a thing? Oh, man. Does Smash Brothers sound like a video game or like a gay incest porno? I don't know anymore. What am I doing? Do Vienna sausages look like a can of botched circumcisms? That's not how you say that word. I'm doing jokes, sort of. Hey, nope. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm still recovering from yesterday. I drank a lot. Hey, you know what? Sometimes people say that themed weddings don't last as long as normal weddings, but my friend had an anime-themed wedding, and he's still happily married to his bed pillow. So I'm doing jokes here, I think. And I'm doing them. Here we are. Thank you.
Jimmy Smoltich, everybody. All 37 years of them. Give it up for that guy.
Woo!
Yeah. We've got another funny comic coming up. This gal is hosted the called Speed Mike. She's performed a couple of times at Smile More. Dogs love her. Give it up for Sarah Klein, everyone.
Woo!
So I was talking to this guy that I've been sleeping with, and we were talking about our kinks, and he asked me, where do you stand on anal sex? I was like, usually behind. And then I took out my strap on, and I fucked him. It's a good time. Relatedly, the other day I was having consensual sex. Not really. I wrote this joke before Rona. I haven't had sex in months. But for the sake of the joke, the other day I was having consensual sex. And the guy had major whiskey dick. So I felt like I was in front of one of those motion-activated paper towel dispensers. Just like, hello? Do something, dispense something. And then finally I wiped my hands in my pants and I said, fuck it. I love that a drunk man's dick is like a mini version of himself, just like falling. all over the place. It's pretty entertaining for a minute. I love that we're always sending people dressed up as superheroes into children's hospitals. Whose idea was that? Like, let's take a group of kids with limited abilities and then bring in a bunch of dudes with superhuman abilities just to rub their sad little faces in it. Like, hey, buddy, you can't walk. Here's a dude who can fucking fly. Does that make you feel better? These dudes have super soldier serum running through their veins, and you, buddy, have cancer running through your veins. It's okay though. My boyfriend volunteers at children's hospitals. He originally wanted to go dressed as Iron Man. I made him go as Iron Deficiency Man. Should give them something that they can relate to. It's my favorite superhero. Have no fear. Iron Deficiency Man is here and he's ready to sit down. Speaking of which, I don't get why these kids are okay with all of these superheroes taking a break from fighting crime all at the same time. Like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna look out the window and it's gonna be anarchy because the entire Justice League and the Avengers are all snapping pics with you. Speaking of which, there's a reason that the president and the vice president never fly on the same plane. Like, I'm pretty sure if you have all these superheroes in one tight space, like, a bunch of supervillains are about to show up. But then I thought, you know what? Kids are smart. They've watched these movies. And would you rather die succumbing to your cancer or in an all-out hero brawl as collateral? Like, think about it. Like, an entire children's hospital just going up in flames. It's pretty cinematic. You guys seen the movie Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah.
I like that movie. I don't like his catchphrase so much. I'm gonna wreck it. Reminds me too much of overconfident men on Tinder, telling me what they're gonna do to my pussy. I don't get that whole vernacular, the whole I'm gonna beat it up, smash it, obliterate, vanquish that pussy. Is that supposed to be sexy? I don't want destruction in there. Like, I just got the walls painted. Gray from a yeast infection. I don't want my pussy wrecked. I prefer mine like thrift store, gently used. Hey Mom, thanks for tuning in. It's always the same guys who complain about loose pussy. Like, maybe reevaluate your goals. Stop trying to Wreck-It Ralph our pussies. I don't know. What do I know? Here's a question for you guys. How come no guy I've ever slept with on a pull-out bed has ever bothered to? Misleading. Speaking of which, it's 2020, ladies. We gotta stop relying on men's pull-out game as our birth control. It's time to take it into our hands, talk about our push-out game. No more doing Kegels for his pleasure. We are now doing Kegels to straight up eject him. Not to come. And it really is the best form of birth control because you will never want to have sex with you again. I hate being on my period. Hot take, you know. So I find myself doing things to try to make it end faster, like just like jumping up and down a lot. I find this mostly empty bottle of ketchup, just trying to get that last bit out. My favorite mental image, and now I've gifted it to you. You guys, I was on the bus the other day, and the guy next to me sneezed, so I said, "Bless you." Only then I realized it wasn't a sneeze, it was a cough. So I was like, oh shit, I need to revoke this blessing. I didn't to deserve that. Only I don't know how to take back a blessing once it's been spoken into the air. So I just told him to go to hell. Feel like that cancels that. Oh shit. That's a good way for me to end my time.
Oh my God, give it up, you guys. That was the first time that sound effect has ever been used, and it has nothing to do with Sarah and everything to do with our tech guy's fingers. Oh, all right. We have fun on this show, you guys. We've got a great comic coming up next. This guy has a very extensive background in so many things. He's got comedy sketches on StephenAFarmer.com. He actually just put out a feature film on Amazon Prime called Metal Gamer. And he's writing a book, getfarmerfit.com. Go to one of his websites and give it up for your next comic, Stephen Farmer.
Yeah, I like all that self-promotion, like 3 things going for me. Now I feel like I have to follow that. Like my credits are better than whatever you're about to hear. Dude, white? Look at how fucking white am I right now. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, I didn't know how to figure out how the green screen, but I do have a green screen behind me. I got a nice shirt on. I don't have any pants, but I'm halfway this way, halfway that way. I do have shoes on, so we got some good stuff going on. This is great. I like all the free time quarantine's given us. You know, everybody can work on these big projects they've been wanting to work on their whole life. You know, that novel they wanted to write. You know, that poetry they wanted to get to, but it just ended up a bunch of adults got TikTok accounts. So I don't know. I feel like quarantine. I don't know. I feel like this epidemic. I feel like we needed it. A lot of people got a lot of free time. I feel sorry for anybody who's getting ghosted right now. They're really not into you. Really not. It was weird that I heard that people are attacking Asians because of Corona. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, do they not realize that's the easiest way to get Corona? Like, why would you do something like that? Oh my gosh. My grandma thinks it's all Trump's fault. She keeps messaging me saying it's Trump. I was like, okay. She's like, you need to get your information. I was like, I don't really watch the news. Like, well, here's where you need to find out. You need to watch Jimmy Kimmel, and he'll tell you. You mean Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel. He'll tell you all about what Trump's got going on. I was like, okay, I'll watch the guy who used to co-host the Man Show for my news. Sounds good. Yeah, but I like what's going on. I train. I do personal training, and I have my own garage gym, so I'm just kind of running a speakeasy gym over here. Like, if you know somebody that knows somebody, I can let you into my garage and work out. It's really nice. I like my gym because I don't like public gyms. You see people doing stuff you don't want to see. There's guys who walk in flip-flops in the gym. I don't want to see a guy in flip-flops ever, let alone in a gym. That's like my safe space, and they're invading it. So that's what I love about having my own gym right now. But yeah, that's just some new stuff I was working on, and it all bombed. Let me try out my old stuff that always, because I have all those credits. I don't want to seem like a piece of shit after 3 things just got plugged. What's going on? I don't know. I was supposed to go to the UK, and that trip got canceled. I like traveling. I went to Germany recently because everybody keeps telling me that I look like a Nazi. So I went out there and checked it out. And I don't like people tell me that. I'm like, why would you tell me I look like that? You know, there's like gotta be a nicer way to say that. Like I look German or I look like the master race. You know, that's not a nice thing to say Nazi, but whatever. And went out there. It was pretty nice. I liked it. People don't talk to you. I love it. I go out here walking my dogs. Everybody wants to talk to me. Like, don't talk to me. Like everybody's hanging out in their front yard out here during Corona. Like people have cots in their front yard. Like you want to relax while strangers can walk by you and stare at you. It's weird. So nobody talks out there. I like it, but they always have opinions about Americans because you know everybody does. Like they couldn't believe I'm American. Like I can't believe you're American. I'm like, why is that? You're not fat. I'm like, okay. I can believe you're German. You suck at small talk. I met you 2 minutes ago. Coming at me with strong opinions. All right, this sounds good. But yeah, you guys, the German language is the worst language. That's why they love American. It's the worst stuff. It's the worst, man. Like at first, it seems okay because you're like, how do you say beer? Beer. It's like, okay, that's not too bad. How do you say hair? Hair. It's like, I think I can get this down by the end of the week. How do you say hospital? Das Krankenhaus. I'm like, what, crack house? What the fuck? It was like way too aggressive, too many syllables. Where they come from? So yeah, I don't like that place. In some regards, I met Austrians. Apparently, that's different than being German. They kept telling me how different it was. You know, like they're like this, we're like this, we do this, we do this. Like I don't really care. You guys are basically the Canada of Germany, all right? It's very beautiful, but not important. You know, you guys got like Sound of Music 2 happening anytime soon? No? Okay, shut up. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, down here during Corona, dude, you get to catch up on stuff. Like, I'm trying to catch up on video games because I'm so lazy. I don't even play video games anymore. I had to put it on my to-do list. I'm like, okay, September is going to be Skyrim DLC. I'm going to do this. You know, I got like a bucket list of video games I want to play. It's just weird being in my 30s. I'd rather just watch somebody play games. You know, I read a book. I read Dune, the book. It's got a bunch of sandworms in it and stuff. It seemed like it was pretty good. It was really long, and it was. So I feel like I was smarter by reading it. I don't know if I learned anything, but it was so long. I feel smart after reading it. I watched Dirty Harry, the movie, for the first time. That was pretty good. He had like a really big gun, and yeah. But I'm scared to like try out a lot of new stuff because they say, "Oh, Corona, you got a lot of free time." But like, I don't want to try out a lot of new stuff because what if you end up liking something you're embarrassed about? Like I was letting Pandora play the other day, and Kiss started coming on. And I was like, I think I really like Kiss. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, if I start watching a lot of TV, like I might end up liking Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to try out a lot of new stuff. So I'm keeping away from a lot of that. What am I doing? Yeah, just doing the training stuff. Yeah, at the gym, I didn't like it because there's a lot of steroid guys out there. You know, like guys who are like 35 look like they're 55, like they age really quickly. And they got that big forehead, and they come up to me and they're like, "Hey man, you ever thought about taking steroids?" I thought you're gonna ask me if I was on steroids. I thought I was like working out pretty hard. I was like, "No, I'm not gonna take steroids." He's like, "Why not?" I was like, "Dude, it's gonna shrink my penis." He said, No, shrink your balls, which will make your penis look bigger. I was like, "That's the best anything I've ever." I'm gonna try that. Like this guy's the best. This guy's the ultimate spin doctor. He makes everything sound amazing. Like, I'd be like, "Oh man, I'm feeling kind of down. My grandparents just died." It's like, "Hey, that's cool. Now you can date black girls." I was like, "Well, I never thought about it like that, man." Awesome. So many things. Yeah, that's what happens when I do my stuff that actually works. Yeah, so the dating thing, I'm not good at that. I know because I'm still dating. It's usually a pretty good indicator you're not good at it. You know, every one of my friends has 4 kids, and I haven't lasted like 4 months in a relationship, so it's a pretty good indicator. But I don't know. I try to date tall girls because I have like a high guilt complex, and I feel like I like short girls, but I feel guilty about dating short girls because I feel like I'm stealing from the short guys. Like I'm messing up the short guy food supply. Like I messed with their ecosystem. So I'm pretty big tall, but I don't know. Some of them can just because they're tall, they're like some are uncoordinated, and I don't know. They're like some weird stuff. Like I dated this one tall girl. Like her hands were as big as my hands. Her feet were bigger than my feet. Her penis. I didn't want to get into it. Like emasculating. I'm super competitive, which was also a problem. So I don't know. I'm trying to work on that. But yeah, I'm originally from Arkansas. I don't have much of an accent. I guess because I had a TV, so I know what normal people sounded like. So I try to make that. But I have a little bit in there. But people say like I make fun of Arkansas. It's like, oh, don't you miss Arkansas? Don't you get homesick? I was like, it's like yeah, every now and then I can just go to a Walmart and knock that out. It's like an 8-hour drive. I don't feel like doing all that. And am I running out of time? Is this a minute left? Okay. I'll end right here. My big closer. Hey, this is okay. I was a theater major in Arkansas because I was trying to not fit in as much as possible. So I went over there and did that, and I liked it because I got a full paid scholarship. I'm not saying that I was great. It's just I was in Arkansas, a place surrounded by cow pasture. It wasn't tough, I was pretty much got a scholarship because I was the only guy who could do Shakespeare without a Southern accent. It's like, hark, what light beyond yonder window breaks, y'all? No, it's too much, bitch. I don't know if that follows iambic pentameter, but okay. Not exactly Shakespeare Park, but maybe Shakespeare in the Trailer Park, whatever. Okay. I guess that's a minute, whatever.
Stephen Farmer, you guys, you may not have seen his abs, but he talked about them enough, so you know they're there. All right, we've got a bunch of other amazing comics coming up, you guys. This next guy is very funny. He has also recently made sourdough. Last year, he was an FPA Funniest Person in Austin finalist. And he's got a great beard. So let's give it up for Carlos Morrison, you guys.
Woo! What?
What's up, guys? It's cool to be back in the comedy scene. I gotta say, Steven, I really felt your set. I was relating to it hard because I'm a huge gym rat, and it's been hard on me, but I've just been trying to keep busy, pumping iron, and keeping it, I mean, it's like I'm making some gains, it's been pretty good. I know I've been making a lot of excuses my whole life. I didn't want to work out because, I don't have time or whatever. And now here we are and I'm fatter than ever. The health, my set's mostly going to be about my physical health and my mental health. Physically, I haven't gotten the virus yet, but I think I have stumbled upon a disease that I've named constaria. It's like where you start off constipated, and I had this one that was so big it was like, I don't know, I think scientifically it had to have been sideways to have made sense. But the constaria, basically you start off and it's hard to push it out, and then is, it's like a rock, and then once it breaks loose, it breaks loose, and it gets real runny and wet. But and having that, I've had toxic farts. I think I gave my girlfriend sleep apnea. I don't know. We got a humidifier, and the combination is just, it's the Amazon. We're starting to speak Portuguese. Deep, stinky farts. And I feel ashamed of this. I got embarrassed because I ordered some food. I think it was Vietnamese food, and then I ate it, and I was like, well, I want some more. That wasn't enough. So I ordered another from a different restaurant. It was Venezuelan. And then they showed up, and I started, I was happy. So I started singing a little song that I wrote, or, I was at the door and I was like, fatty, fatty, yum, yum time. Fatty, fatty, yum, yum time. And then I opened the door, and, it was one of those guys that like waits at the door still. He didn't drop it off and then leave. He was like waiting there to say hi. So he heard me sing that. And he was like, oh, are you Carlos? And I was like, yeah, that's me. Remember my face. For shaming. I got my bike stolen, and I was pissed, but it changed my lifestyle, like almost not at all. I wasn't like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? Just gone. This schmuck has to work out now. My dog got his balls clipped. He's over there. He's we didn't have to, but I said, let's cut his nuts off. Just kidding. They made us do it, but we had to cut his balls off. To adopt him, so we got him. He's real cute. He's all drugged out, so I tried to get on his level, smoke some juice. But apart from that, still, I can't fit into pants effectively, which has been. Oh, here he's got his cone now. Oh shit.
Put himself.
Dude, he's not. Oh, buddy, he's all wobbly. It's okay. All right. Well, man, doing stand-up comedy, sitting down, pretty good, huh? I enjoy this. I think I have, like, my main thing I've always disliked about stand-up. One, I don't like being around people. And then number two is the laughter is just, it just keeps coming. And it's like, please, can you just stop? I need to get through this, and you guys keep laughing over my jokes. So, it's kind of refreshing to just be here in my living room with my my drugged out dog and my half naked girlfriend. But all right, and that was, I guess that's 5 minutes. I did it. I'll end on a high note. That was, I think, the best set I've had in months. So good. All right. Very nice to see you all.
Fatty, yum yum time. Fatty, yum yum time. Oh, Carlitos! Give it up for Carlos, you guys. got a girlfriend. He made sure to brag about it and her lack of tan. It's really nice for you. We're very happy for you, but fuck you. We've got a few more comics coming up. This next guy is a badass. He has opened up for Hannibal Buress, and you've also seen him on Vice somewhere. Give it up for Brandon Philly, y'all. Woo!
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? If it looks like I'm in an insane asylum, it's because I am. It's called Mississippi. Yeah. Man, today actually has been a crazy day for me. Where I work, a guy came to my store and he was like pissed off. He was like, "Hey man, I came up here to get the COVID-19 testing. I want to get my testing done." And I was like, "Sir, this is Verizon. We don't do testing, and I'm not a doctor." And he was still angry after I told him that. And I was like, "Well, I mean, if you want me to stick a Q-tip in your brain, I'll do it, no problem." But no, man, it's been like, if anything, coronavirus has made me realize how stupid people are. It's really funny. Being that I'm from like this state, like I run into a lot of crazy shit. Like I don't hate Mississippi. It's just that we don't change shit. Like recently, we named the Bible our state book, and that's not like a bad answer. It's just an easy answer. Like it's the same answer I've seen like a meth head single mother of four having her OK Cupid profile as her favorite book to read. Don't ask me why I was trying to hit up a meth head with single mother of four on OK Cupid. It was a bad time in my life. All right. But no, I guess it's fine because meth head single mother of four is also Mississippi state bird. Like, yeah, man, it's just crazy shit I go through here. Like, you know, everybody knows about our state flag. Like, if you've never seen our state flag, you can Google it. It still has like the stars and bars from the Confederate flag on it. And to me, it's like, I don't want to see that shit in a public place. Like, I want it to change. Like, you can keep it at your house, because if you keep it at your house, then it lets me know who not to fuck with, you know. Like just as a scenario I'll give you, let's just say I'm like lost in the woods, you know. I don't know why I'm out there, but I was just out there and I got lost. And just to spice it up a little bit, let's say a fucking werewolf was chasing me. Like, okay, I'm out in the woods, a werewolf is chasing me, and I see a house in the distance, and I run in that house, I knock on the door, and you open the door, and you have these loving arms, you're like, "Come on in, brother, come on in." But behind you, I see a big ass, like, Confederate flag. You're like, "Nah, man, nah, I'm gonna go fuck with this wolf man," you know. Feel like it's a little bit safer, you know. But yeah, man, like personally, I've been dealing with like a lot of racism my whole life. Like it started at a very young age. Like growing up, I didn't meet my dad. Like I didn't know who my dad was. And my mom told me the story. She was like, "Baby, your father, he saw you for the first time, and once he saw you, he was like, 'That baby's not mine. That baby is too white.'" And I was like, "What? Me? Too white?" And turns out the only thing my mom showed him was the ultrasound. He was like, "I gotta go." So, fellas, if you need an excuse, I think that's a good one. But no, man, like I don't know. It's just like racism is just been like a big part of who I am, and like having to deal with it. And I'm trying to stop it. Like I'm trying to figure out a way to stop racism. So I've been doing my own research, and the research I've done is I went on YouTube, right, and I typed in white dude, and the first two entries I got were white dudes rapping and white dudes dancing. I was like, oh shit, okay, they're doing that a lot. That's cool. That's cool. And then I typed in black dude, and I got black dude TikToks. And the second entry was black dudes reacting to magic tricks. And I watched the videos for like 2 hours or whatever. And all the videos are like these white guys like reacting to black people who react to magic tricks, and the white guys are like laughing, and the black people are just like running away after they see the magic trick. I'm like, what the fuck are you laughing about? This is how you're supposed to act when a fucking sorcerer comes to the hood. Where's my father? But that's all my time, y'all.
Oh my God, sorcerers everywhere, you guys. That was great. Give it up for Brandon one more time. If you liked his stuff, if you liked anyone's stuff, you can donate to them directly. There's going to be Venmos. That would be really nice. Or you can donate to the show on PayPal, and we evenly split that up amongst everyone because we are kind and friendly socialists that share every dollar we get. We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more comics tonight. This next gal, very funny, very glamorous. Her name is Kim Luke. She is a high-functioning emotional wreck, currently living in Santa Cruz, California. She's normally referred to as that lady from that thing. You can let her know what you had for dinner. You can do that in the comments, or you can DM her, or you know what? I think she'd even probably like that in the memo of a Venmo. So let her know what you had for dinner. She is out of ideas. Give it up for Kim Luke, you guys.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm so happy to be here tonight as the token glamedian. If that's a new term for you, this can be a learning moment. It means I'm kind of glamorous and I'm kind of a comedian. But please don't pigeonhole me because it's really possible to be two things at once. For instance, smart, super hot. It's a burden, but it works. I mostly work as an MC, so a lot of what I do is crowd work, and it's been kind of hard for me to keep my chops up because I'm sheltering in place with just one person, and that's my daughter. But I've been really doing my best. How are we doing tonight? She's doing good. She's doing great. Where are you from? She's from here. So. Me too. Who you here with? She's here with me. Are there any birthdays or anniversary? No, I know when your birthday. There's not. There hasn't been for like. I know. No, don't. We're fine, honey. Everything's fine. Tip your bartender. We'll be here forever. I keep hearing about people having crazy quarantine dreams, and maybe you're like me. My dreams are just the same as they were before, and they fall into two categories. And the first is you accidentally don't wear pants, and you're terrified that someone will notice. And then there's the other kind of dream where you purposely don't wear pants and you're terrified that no one will notice.
Oh.
And don't say, oh, that's not sad. That's sexy. It's not sexy. It's horrifying. I pinched myself in a dream last night to see if I was awake or not, and it really fucking hurt. So I think what that means is that I can't be trusted awake or asleep. Like a lot of people, some of you have talked about this already, my regular day-to-day life has turned into like FaceTime life or Zoom life. So I end up, dressing from the waist up, right? And I'm shaving from the waist down because it's all about being camera ready. Am I right? I'm just going to keep telling that joke until somebody slides into my DMs. I'm single while I'm sheltering. So that means that I'm using every single one of my phone apps as a dating app. And I'm having a really sexy conversation with a guy on Words with Friends. Where did I go? Oh, I know what I did. How scary. Anyway, we're having a really sexy conversation on Words with Friends. Got really big words. But I really like the guy I met on Zillow. He's sort of a mid-century modern ranch kind of guy. But he's got a detached garage. I don't even know what that means. I like online dating, kind of, because when you're messaging people, you can sort of try out things that you normally wouldn't say like in a million years and see, how it feels. Like, okay, like this one. Oh, that mud run looks super fun. Or another one, maybe. I also like to conquer the outdoors. That just, it doesn't feel right. But my favorite one is, ooh, Bitcoin. How cool. That's a Silicon Valley joke. Dating me is like physical therapy. I'll tell you how. Well, I'm going to expect some stretching. There will be some, isolation and some gentle manipulation. And also the out of pocket is going to be way higher than you anticipated. And it won't be any good unless you do it 3 times a week. Dating. So I appreciate us all being here together. And I know that there's a lot of things out there to help you get through what we're going through. But I want to share something that's been really helpful for me in my industry. I know you're familiar with the pain scale at the doctor, to like how you're feeling. Well, here's something that's really visual that you can use that'll let you know how you're doing. Now, can you see what I've shared here? I hope you can see this. Start to the left. What you're starting with here is, this is the Ben Franklin, Britney Spears letter, which is clearly, it's a cry for help. Like, please, let's do a wellness check. Now, if you don't from that, I think in today's vernacular, this is the Karen level. That means, you're pissed as hell. You want to talk to anyone who's in charge of this shit show we're all going through. Then you get right here up into the middle. And what this is where a lot of us are at right now. You're sick and tired of playing by the rules. So you're just going to try something new and different and maybe a little bit dangerous. Now this has a lot of looks and a lot of outcomes. So be careful out there. Now right here, this is, you're moving up. This level is sort of perseverance, acceptance, kind of an optimism for the future. Like, when this is over, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to get a new job as a receptionist. And then, of course, over here on our far right, where we all want to be eventually, and that is Dolly Parton. What that level is I'm amazing. Everything's perfect. I love you. You love me forever and ever. So let's all strive to be Dolly. And not for Ben Franklin. All right. That's pretty much my time. So I think I'm out. Thanks, Comedy Wham.
replying to guys in your Words with Friends DMs. I got called an uptight bitch for not replying to some guy that shot a shot in my Word with Friends. So, so you're doing better than me, which is great. That's how it's a low bar, but it's what we strive for here. Your next comic, this guy is also very funny. He's gotten a few badass creds. So he won the 2018 Damn Awards. He's the funniest comic in Denton. He's open for Jim Jeffries. And he has a podcast called the Before and After Podcast. Give it up, clap, donate to Tony Casillas.
Woo!
What's going on, guys? Hey, let's get the obvious out of the way real quick. I know I look like a Lane Bryant Rewards member. Okay, some of you laughed at that a little bit too hard. I also know I look like a lesbian version of Drew Carey. Again, those laughs hurt. I'm fat. I'm okay with being fat. I just hate being the fat friend of my friend group. Because like when I go out to eat with them, I have to order a normal sized meal. And I can't pour ranch on my nipples like I do when I'm at home. My friends are like, Tony, you're embarrassing us. I'm like, but they're dry. Like I have to do something. I did that joke in Oklahoma before quarantine happened. And after the show, I shit you not, this lady comes up to me and she goes, no, Tony, ranch goes down here. Jeez, goes up here. I go, ma'am, it's just a joke. Guys, I went back to my motel room and tried it, and holy shit, was she right. First time anybody was right in Oklahoma. Also, I get why they call it Hidden Valley now. Good, I'm bombing on a live stream, but it's fine. No, I prepared for this. I was a little nervous for the show. I prepared, though, because usually comics, we have to drive to a club, drive to a bar to perform. I'm performing in my pajamas. So after the show, I'm just going to go to bed and forget this ever happened. So this is perfectly fine. And when I was 11, I met my first celebrity. My parents were divorced, and every summer I would fly to Germany to go visit my mom. And it was weird that my parents would just let me fly alone. I was like, Dad, aren't you worried that I'll get kidnapped? And he goes, Tony, no one gets kidnapped at the airport. I'm like, a lot of people get kidnapped at the airport. Like a guy could just walk up to me and be like, hey, I got chocolate in Venezuela. I'm like, South America and chocolate are my two favorite things. Let's go. And I was in the TSA line and I see the cast from Glee. And if you don't know, Glee was the show in the mid 2000s. Where it was these high school Glee kids singing famous songs. But I was a dumb kid. I thought they created the song. So like my dad would show me Queen. I was like, Dad, I think Queen stole from Glee. You're fucking thieves, Dad. So I'm nervous. I walk up to him like, hi, my name's Tony. I'm a huge fan. Could I get a picture or maybe an autograph? And the guy who played Puck on the show told me to fuck off. An 11-year-old kid. And for the next few years, every night I went to bed, I would just hear, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. And then I forgot about it. And then years later, the guy who played Puck on the show got arrested for the possession of child pornography. This is a true story. And a part of me was like, good, that guy's a monster. He deserves what he gets. But the other half of me was like, I was a kid when I met Puck. Was I not good enough for him? Guys, I know 2 pedophiles in my hometown that wanted this ass. You know, like that's when I knew that I wasn't Hollywood real estate. I was more Midwestern real estate. Good. This is a question for the fellas. Fellas, anybody here ever join a gang to impress a woman? Because I have. I was 12 years old, moved back from Germany, and my parents, we were going new school clothes shopping. And this is the first time they let me buy an outfit. And I was excited because prior to this, all they would buy me is khakis and polo shirts. I was going into middle school. I was like, hey, maybe I'll have sex. And I was excited to pick a cool outfit because no one wants to fuck the assistant manager from a Costco's, you know? So I'm walking through the mall. I have $30 and I stop at the store called Spencer's. Have you guys ever been inside of a Spencer's? It's like a pervert's thrift store. Like in front, there are kids like looking at Pokemon plush figures, being like, a Pikachu. And then in the back, there's a guy like, a dildo at the same time. It's like, build 2 stores, please. Like, why is this happening right now? Like, so I'm looking through the shirts at Spencer's, and I'm holding the shirt, and the saleswoman approaches me, and I instantly fall in love, and not for any good reasons. I was a kid going through puberty. She had boobs, and that's all you give a shit when you're going through puberty. And she had 2 of them, so I was like, I hit the jackpot. So she looks at the shirt I'm holding, and she goes, "You're into ICP?" And I was about to say, no, I don't know them. And then she goes, "Because they're my favorite group." And I go, "Fucking yeah, I love ICP." And she goes, "You're a juggalo?" And I'm like, "Look at me, I've juggled before." So I buy 2 ICP shirts, and as we're at the register, I ask her for a phone number, and she goes, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Old enough." I was like, "Don't worry, my dad will drive us. We can go see a movie. He'll let us make out in the back. He's a cool dude." And she gives me her phone number. I'm very excited, but I thought like I should study like what ICP is before I call her. So if you don't know, ICP is this group called Insane Clown Posse. They're 2 white rappers from Detroit called Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J. And if you don't know, they dress up as clowns. And surprisingly, they are terrible. Like only white people would be like, you know what the rap game needs? Fucking clowns. And if you don't know, the reason I said I joined a gang is because during that time period, the U.S. government said that their fan base, Juggalos, were a certified gang. And I think that's a little bit of an overreaction. They're just Kid Rock fans with face makeup. That means they just love meth and Faygo. And I started drinking a lot of Faygo, and it's delicious. So that makes me think meth is probably pretty good too. Like, I don't know. I haven't tried it, but I feel a little bad for the Faygo company. You know, they put hard work into making a delicious soda, and then they put it out there, and they're like, "So, what markets did we hit?" And the guy has to be like, "Well, we hit the Juggalo market." The CEO is like, "What the fuck is a Juggalo?" And they're like Corn fans, but worse, you know. I even asked my dad to buy me clown makeup, and he goes, "For what?" And I couldn't tell him it was to join a gang, so I just said I wanted to join the circus. And he goes, "Shit, the divorce is really hitting him hard." So I didn't get clown makeup for my birthday. I just got 2 more years of therapy. So eventually, I finally grew the balls to call her. I pick up the phone. It rings once. It rings twice. I get nervous. I hang up. And then I think to myself, I was like, Tony, what would Shaggy 2 Dope do in this situation? He'd call that bitch. And ladies, don't worry. I would never call a woman a bitch. I would never do it. But Shaggy 2 Dope does it a lot. Like, I feel like he doesn't respect women at all. Like a little bit. So I pick up the phone again. I type in the number. It rings once. It rings twice. It rings 3 times. And then I hear a voice at the other end. And it says, "Thank you for calling Whataburger. How can I help you?" Yeah. At that moment, I realized she gave me a fake number. At that moment, I wiped off the clown makeup off my face. At that moment, I threw away my juggling balls. At that moment, I realized I wasn't going to find love. But guys, I still found love that day. And it was the patty melt meal with extra jalapenos. Thank you, guys. My name's Sonny Casillas. Thanks for having me.
Give it up for Tony Casillas, guys. I think a clown Venmo memo would be really cute and funny. If you need emoji suggestions, I'm here for you in the chat. Happy to help in whatever way we can. This next guy has some really great hair from all angles. We asked him to put it in a pignon or an updo, but he said no. So give it up to Sawyer Stoll, everyone.
howdy, folks. Seems that we have a lot more free time now. I've been using that time wisely to revisit my favorite action movie franchises. And today I'm going to tell y'all all about all 9 of the Fast and Furious movies. And to get in the spirit of things, I'm out here in Austin driving around. Just felt right. So it starts in 2001 with The Fast and the Furious. People get that mixed up with a later title, but we have our main trio here. You know, we got a lot of Vin Diesel, who is ethnically and height ambiguous. The man could be just about any race, and also any height between 5'4" and 6'3". Simply some of the best acting work that the world has ever seen. And yeah, so I mean, it's a really simple movie on the whole. Like, you look at it and you're like, man, these are people just like driving around stealing 18-inch TVs with built-in DVD players in it. And you're like, you may think that, but really it's about family. Dom's always talking about La Familia, and like, where that's Vin Diesel's character. Secretly, Paul Walker is playing an undercover agent, and he's trying to figure out if Dominic Toretto is stealing these DVD players. And yeah, there's some racing involved, but really it's all about family when you get down to it. Now, normally you would think that movies go in a chronological order, but actually the 4th film is the second in the timeline, if you want to get down to brass tacks here. So that would be Fast and Furious. Now, this was director Justin Lin's second swing at the franchise. And boy, he did a great job with the original cast. Now, this is much more of a crime thriller that happens to feature a couple of races along the way. But it's a relatively good time. And then after that, we go backwards to the second movie. And now, personally, it's a perfect sequel. It's Too Fast, Too Furious. Oh, what a title. And it takes place in Miami, as most sequels should. It also features Ludacris, and at the height of his powers, with like Move Bitch and all things were popping around this, about 2003. It also introduces us to Tyrese. It's really just a really shitty drug deal movie, but it's pretty fun. The cars are faster. They're starting to learn how CGI works. Then after that, we go to the 5th movie, and honestly, we should thank God for creating this movie. It is the greatest action movie of all time. At this point, they said, fuck the racing, fuck the neon cars. What can we do? Let's go to Brazil. Let's make this a heist film. They're like, what can't we do? I'm pretty sure that the 9th movie that's been delayed a year, that's also why I wanted to do this. Like, it's supposed to come out like a week ago, but like, you know, everything's getting pushed back years at this point. But yeah, it's great. This is the one that introduces Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Really, really, really a pivotal character in the Fast and franchise. But it's a good movie. Next is the 6th one, and this is when they're just like, you know, we don't care about realism anymore. I know that this started with people boosting 18-wheelers full of 18-inch DVD players, but now we're gonna drive a tank out of a car, and there's gonna be a jumbo jet on a runway that seemingly is 14 miles long, because the plane goes for about 10 to 15 minutes but never takes off. And it's a pretty relatively good time. And then here's the plot twist, though. Now you gotta go all the way back to what would have been the 3rd movie, which was Tokyo Drift. None of the characters that are supposed to be in it are actually in the movie. It features Lucas Black, who is in Friday Night Lights. He's a gentleman who is apparently 24 at the filming of this movie, but somehow looks 45 and is playing an 18-year-old. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Takes place in Tokyo. Really looked like the black sheep of the family, but as the franchise went on, it really aged like a fine wine. Nothing made sense, but in the after credits scene of Fast and Furious 6, they revealed that Han was killed in Tokyo Drift by the villain of the 7th film. And that, I don't know if that's just luck, coincidence, or careful planning on Justin Lin's part, but honestly, bravo. Pretty good time. And then of course, Fast 7. Honestly, I have never cried harder in a movie because at this point I've invested about a half day's worth of my time into these films, and I've gotten really close to everybody. And this being the last film that Paul Walker made, shocker, the fella died driving cars. Pretty on brand, but yeah, it was it's a great movie though, because you're just like, he died before they finished it, so you're like, it's coming. This is it. This is the part where, and they do a tasteful job of teasing it too. They turn the family up to 11 in this one, and it's a real tearjerker. Wiz Khalifa really hits deep at the end of the film. There's a great montage of all the movies, and I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like, it's good. It's good. It's really good. And they should have ended it there, but you know what's a cash cow good for? Just more crank them out. So we got Fate of the Furious, worst movie out of all of them, best title of the franchise. Some guy named Chris Morgan apparently wrote all these movies, and he's probably 14. But this is the one where he was just like, fuck it. I don't care. Dialogue is really secondary in this. And Charlize Theron has really offensive white dreadlocks. It's very problematic. It is now Vin Diesel's turn to play the villain, and he does a great job of being conflicted. Turns out he had a bastard child all along. That was pretty neat. And then it's super irrelevant because he just kind of leaves them. Which, I mean, pretty on brand for Vin Diesel too. But yeah, and then after that, the next movie was Hobbs and Shaw, is like the last one. And honestly, just throw that shit in the trash. A real black mark on the franchise. That movie's about friends, and also it's not about family, and they're just two friends that they introduced way later on. And I'm not really cool with that. Jason Statham's killed multiple of their friends, and they're just like, yeah, let's hang out, man. You can come to the barbecue. But yeah, if you've got about I'd say 17 hours to kill, it's a pretty good time. And we should all be very excited for the next one to come out. Plot twist, John Cena is Vin Diesel's brother, and now we gotta wait a year. That's so crazy. But I'll tell y'all a joke though. During this time, I have been working on a passion project. I'm writing a musical on the Wes Craven hit Scream. It's more of a screenplay. Yeah, and yeah, that's my time. I'm gonna do Scream next time I'm on one of these. So look forward to that. Y'all have a great quarantine.
Sawyer Stoll, you guys, president and chairman of the Fast Furious Foundation. He will be doing these once per day on Instagram Live. Go follow him on Instagram. We've got 2 more comics coming up. These next 2 are very funny. Just keeps getting better the longer we go. Like quarantine. This next guy got onto Moon Tower. He's awesome. Give it up for Glenn Rose.
Hi everybody, give it up for all the comments you've seen. They've all been great, but I am the only one that's gonna have an audience in front of me. So, and maybe another special guest will show up. So, let's get this started, everybody. Right? Another special guest will show up. So, let's get this started, everybody. Right? Another special guest will show up. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I've seen a lot of ads on TV for stuff like, if you buy this T-shirt, we will plant a tree, right? And to me, that sounds like a threat. Like, if you don't buy the T-shirt, they will kill a tree.
They do that?
No, they wouldn't do it. Oh, what's up, Sawyer? Hey.
Oh.
What other jokes do I have? Let me see. Let me check this. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that ad from the '90s that was like, "This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs"?
Yes.
Thank you, Pat. I always thought because when they would start, they'd say, "This is your brain." It was an egg, and it said, "This is your brain on drugs," and then they would fry the egg, and that seems better, right?
Brian's a lot of protein.
Yeah, I mean, like, but you don't use the egg until it's like out on the skillet, right? right. You guys get it. You guys get it. All right. You guys get it. No. All right, let's see. Maybe let's try this. I think dates should be called blowjob appointments. Thank you. Any health fans in the crowd? Like health food? You guys like health food?
I like fast food.
No, fast food? I like health food. If you guys know about health food, you know bone broth? Are you guys familiar with bone broth?
Yeah. Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. I feel like bone broth sounds like I feel like bone broth sounds like a funny name for cum. Right. Speaking of health food, by the way, I'm a vegetarian. Okay. All right. No. I'm a vegetarian. Like, I think, cows and pigs are cute, right? Like, so I don't want to eat them. Some of these other animals, yikes. Like, have you guys ever heard of lobsters before? This guy knows what I'm talking about. No, like, lobsters are so ugly. You can go to a grocery store and you can look at a bunch of lobsters that are still alive. And then you can go, sir, kill that one. Yeah, that's right. Then you can say, actually, don't kill it. I'll do it. Oh, where will I do it? At home. Oh, how do you act? In a really weird way. I know. You guys know vegetarians. You guys think vegetarians are healthy, right? Yeah. I'm not, though. I actually gained some weight recently. Ow! Yeah, I gained some weight recently for eating Taco Bell too much. You guys know Taco Bell? Yeah. It sucks going to Taco Bell in Texas because, like, at every Taco Bell, you can see a good Mexican restaurant. Come on. The only problem is, you have to get out of your car at those restaurants. And you motherfuckers know I'm listening to a podcast! Come on, dude!
I live by Taco Bell.
Yeah, shut up. O.J. Simpson. We all know him. I think I figured out the murder. I think O.J. Simpson just thought the game Fuck, Marry, Kill was something you were supposed to do to one person. I'm going there! I'm doing it! I'm going there! Oh, I'm getting recorded! Huh? Did I get the horn yet? I'm close? Alright. This is more jokes. Let's see. Guys, I think dates should be called blow jobbing. Because we're all familiar. You guys are job interviews.
Yeah.
Yep. We all know. Yeah. Thank you, bro. Let's see. What other short notes do I have? Jesus Christ. My dick, everybody. Anyways, that's me. I'm Glenn. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I'm done now. 3, 2, 1, right? Give me a round of applause. Thank you.
Oh man, give it up for Glenn.
Woo!
And Sawyer. Both of y'all points for creativity / for idiocy. Beautiful. I love comedy. This makes this fun, very fun. We've got one more comic. We're coming to the end of the show, y'all. She is freaking awesome. You're gonna love her. She's not in Glenn's living room, but she has opened for some comics like Rory Albanese and Pete Holmes, and she co-hosts this motivational comedy podcast called Hot Buns. Give it up for Sarah Benson.
Woo!
Okay, hi you guys. First of all, great job everybody. This has been so fun. What a wild and wacky hour and a half this has been. Oh my gosh. Took a little macaroni and cheese break in the middle. Yeah, I can't do that in a regular comedy show. No. You guys, I just have not been feeling jokes lately. So instead of writing jokes, I thought I would do something a little bit more useful and do a little presentation about finding new hobbies. Finding new hobbies. Comedy is gone, so this is what we've got to do. So I came up with a couple little ideas for fun new hobbies. Okay, hobby number 1. Puzzles. I have been working on a puzzle. It's going pretty well. Are you guys puzzle fans out there? Do we have any puzzlers? We got one. Gabby's a big old puzzler. Love that. I find puzzles very, very thrilling. I have this 1,000-piece puzzle. And what I've been doing is I've been sorting all the pieces and putting them in bags and then waiting 2 weeks. And then maybe in a couple weeks, I'll try again. But puzzles are tough. So we just have them in bags right now. We just got all the tree pieces, all the picnic pieces, all the water pieces. Oh my God. What's gonna be next? Oh, we got the sky pieces. Oh, that one's gonna be a tough section. That one is gonna take a while. Okay, you guys. Oh, I don't know my neighbors, but they know me. This is fun. Okay. Oh, number 2. This has actually been one of my favorite things to do in quarantine. Making crafts out of trash. Oh yeah, you guys, I know you wouldn't think, but these pieces of paper, they're actually the inside of grocery bags. So that's called upcycling. Yeah. Oh, also guys, this probably isn't going to take 6 minutes. This is probably going to take more like 2 to 3. That's just the way it is. That's just how we're feeling tonight. Number 3. This is actually I think my favorite quarantine hobby. Taking long showers. Oh, it's like a little time jump. Do you ever just find yourself thinking, man, I just want to feel something today, because I do, and that's typically when I take a shower. That's what I do. It's very nice, very relaxing, good for your skin. Ooh, number 4. Wow, this is probably going to take like another minute. So brace yourselves for the grand finale of this show. Here goes. Number 4. Sitting alone with your thoughts. It's one of my personal favorite activities. For whatever reason, I don't really get bored. I can just sit and think about all the things going on in the world. And it's great. It is very grim, very grim. Do we have anybody out there who likes to sit alone with their thoughts? We got Gabby, we got Jim with his dog, we got all the kitchen people are gone now. This is going well. Cool. We still have Kim and Brandon. Carlos, he's muted. He's playing music in the background. Love it. Okay, cool. Sitting alone with my thoughts. Got a lot of alone time. We got two more real good ones. Next one. Watching your food cook in the microwave. My favorite thing to do while whatever I'm making is cooking in the microwave is eating a little snack. Eating a little snack while you're waiting for your food to cook. Great thing. Guys, okay, we got one more and then we're out of here. Are you guys ready? We got a head nod. We got two head nods. Oh, that's how we know that the audience is nice and warm, just like you stepped out of a good hot shower. Love it. Okay, last one. It's a little joke. Kidding, you guys. Everybody, please. Okay, that's my time. Thanks, guys. Bye. Thank you.
Give it up for Sarah and her puzzles. That's the most like OCD depressive activity I've ever seen in my entire life. Getting ready, but it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna be ready. That's great. I love that. I'm gonna do that with my diamond painting activities that I got in the mail yesterday. All right, that is the end of our show, you guys. I hope y'all had a great time. I did. My cheeks hurt from laughing and smiling, which is weird when you're home by yourself. Thank you to all of our kick-ass comics. If you were here, if you were in the chat, tell your friends to join us. Follow Comedy Wham for all the upcoming shows. Thank you to Jerome Rivers, aka Derek Call the Cops for his music. Thank you, Richard, the voice from God, making all this technology happen. Thank you to Valerie and Laura for all that they do behind the scenes that y'all don't know about, but it happens, definitely. If you guys had fun, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and let us know in monetary form in PayPal. That would be nice. It'll be split up amongst the people. If not, just a kind direct message really goes very far. That would be cool too. You can give someone a compliment. That costs $0. And maybe it'll give Sarah the confidence to start her puzzle tomorrow. So yeah, that's our show. I hope y'all had fun. I definitely did. We'll see you on Friday for the next show. Bye.